All right, that is. I'm probably live. I'm just double checking myself and also inviting people on Twitter. So say hi if you're in the chat. I'll be checking the chat every now and then. I'm going live now. Streaming my first time Remix.run experience. And if you want to join and chat live, we'll probably go 1-2 hours. I'll add an emoji. All right, that's my tweet. That's going out now. And let's see if anyone is interested in joining. But I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Hey, what's up? So we have a first comment. Nice. I cannot pronounce your name. I'm sorry. But welcome. Okay. Let's also try to figure out. Hey, Mr. Nutlope. I thought you were busy, man. Go do your work. This is not work. This is fun. But maybe it's work for you. I don't know. I don't know how you guys define work. Okay. First of all, I want to shout out. So here's the pre-work that I've done. I've watched their beta launch. I've watched their real launch on Monday. And then I've browsed through the site. Obviously, I know the people involved and have a broad, high-level idea, but I've never actually used any of this code, never really looked at what is potentially problematic or what I have questions about. And I think it's always useful for founders and for project creators to just record your first glance experience, because the things that you struggle with, probably other people struggle with too. And it's a nice way of learning in public if you keep the expectations very low. The expectations being that I have done zero prep, and that should be fine. Okay, so all right, it looks like Lee Robinson is actually going to be joining us, so that would be really cool. I'm going to share an invite to him. Give me 1 second. So we'll have another person joining us on that. I'm guessing that the Remix people will also be checking us out eventually, but I don't want to put any pressure on them. This is I didn't coordinate with them. I just had free time because my company is just like gone. Like we shut down today, so there's no point continuing to work. So I want to do this because I want to have an opinion on Remix. I want to know what I'm talking about when people ask me questions and stuff like that. And I guess that's why Lee is joining us in a bit as well. So Lee, when you see this, hopefully you'll be able to join. Can you hear me okay? Let me know if the audio is okay. Otherwise, I'm just going to assume that it's fine. I want to say like this is a very impressive site. Like it tells a story. It's bold. It has like all the basic elements that you might think of in terms of a nice site. The little bit of scroll jacking, but done tastefully, is perfect. It's just bold. Like they know they're a bold project. It's a statement. This is responsive on mobile, by the way. So let's actually see all the spinneroonies. Nothing. It's pretty funny, like in React's marketing, that we're always scared of spinners, but we actually don't see it that much. I remember, like a couple of months ago, we observed that Notion had a 9.1 megabyte landing page, obviously built with React, and nobody knew that until Notion themselves ripped it out. So, are we overstating the performance issues sometimes? Maybe, maybe not. Say goodbye to Spinagaden. It's just perfect, you know. As someone who works on landing pages, I struggle because I know the amount of effort that it took to get to this kind of page. I love this. What the hell? You don't need to be refreshed. What? Route error boundaries. Okay, we need to try all these features. We need to inventory all these features. They put a ton of work into this. I did not pay attention to the code. I'm sorry, but I don't do that. Okay, where do I start? So there's developer blog, and then there's Remix docs. Are these the same? I'm already confused from the ground up because there's two places to get started. Oh, I see Lee has joined us. Hey, what's up, Lee?
Hey, how's it going?
Live. It's going. We're just getting going. I was just getting done complimenting their website. Isn't that amazing? Have you seen their page?
Yeah, I really like the scroll experience.
Yeah.
It's nice.
What problems do people have with scroll jacking? Because I see this all the time, and I'm like, yeah, okay, this is tasteful, but when do people do it wrong?
Yeah, I've seen it sometimes where when it gets in the way of like wanting to navigate to a different part of the content, like you can't actually escape from it. I can see how that can be frustrating. And I also like specifically here on the loading spinner where it was like, keep scrolling. That was a really good touch where it was like, well, if you go back a little bit, like it showed the browser loading spinner. It was like, this is fake. Keep scrolling, like a little bit further.
A little bit further.
A little bit further down.
A little bit further down.
So right there. Oh, like halfway through the network waterfall on when the two browser screens showed up. On the left, without Remix. Yeah. Inside of there, if you go back a little bit, back up, it shows the browser loading spinner a little further, right there.
Okay.
Because it's like, oh, I could see how somebody would see that and be like, oh, this is like, it's actually loading something. It's the touches like that I appreciate.
That makes sense. Yeah, I have no. I can tell that this is probably Ryan's doing. I can tell they had so much fun with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I almost just want like a breakdown on how to make something like this. Mm-hmm. This is so fun.
I think it's Tailwind too.
It's Tailwind, huh?
Yeah,
wow,
which is
they're really, yeah.
It doesn't really look like Tailwind, you know. When people say, "Oh, it looks like Tailwind."
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a little BS, but also, you know, it's people copy and paste, so it is what it is. Okay, shall we get started? Do we have anything else that we want to explore? What are you personally interested in?
So far, I've really only seen the landing page, and I briefly looked at the docs, but I haven't like actually read anything. I also didn't have like early access or anything, so I haven't actually got to try it out yet. I've only seen snippets on Twitter.
Yeah, so we're totally fresh. Did you see the live stream?
I caught some of it. I was trying to dip in between work, and I had it on the background for a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. I sped through it. It's kind of the same demo, but they are obviously very polished. And it just made me realize that these are like three of the most oh my God, look at that flash. Okay, nice. All right. Remix app server, architects, express, Vercel. So how come this is not alphabetical? I always wonder about this. So architect comes first, then Fly, then Netlify, Vercel, then Cloudflare is all the way at the bottom. They probably
maybe it was like the date it was added.
All right. You know what? Since you're here in honor of you, let's go over Vercel. Let's see how well they take care of this.
Nice.
Do you want me to run npm install? Yeah. We have like, I mean, I think it's not optional. Why would you ever want to set up a project without npm install?
I think the advantage there, and I think is that you're able to get started quicker by not installing all the deps. Like you're getting feedback faster versus like immediately going into the loading spinner of deps.
Yeah, true. We should probably use PNPM. I like everyone has told me to make the switch and I haven't.
Same. It's so weird. You get used to the ergonomics of the CLI and the lock file, and it sounds non-trivial, but like I use PNPM and I looked at the lock file and I was like, oh, I don't like that. But it's the same. It's just like barely different. But I'm so used to seeing my Yarn lock file.
Yeah, but you switched at some point, you know.
Yeah.
You know, Yarn always exists. So. Okay, we've created our app. I have it here. Let's kind of walk through what it is. Sorry, is everything okay? Am I streaming okay?
Yeah, I think your video was like a little laggy for a second, but I can still hear you good.
Yeah, I think I just did some GC or something. Because I'm back to normal. Okay, nice. Let's try to make this big. All right, let's do a quick start, and then we do a jokes app, and then we can kind of read through the rest. I think that sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
So let's do the quick start. Jesus, my computer's dying. It might be the stream. It might be something else. I'm not sure. Okay, we created a project. Oh, it's important that we pick Remix app server. Why? Not all setups are compatible with the code. And okay, they want us to mess with the file system. That makes sense. Okay, yeah. So in their demo, they actually did basically like a notes app that wrote to the file server, and that makes a lot of sense as to why we should have done that. npx create remix latest.
There should be a world where we just make like a virtual file system and serverless functions.
Yes.
So that demos actually work.
I bet you could do that. Remix app server. Okay. All right. See, this should be cached right here. If we were using PNPM, this would be instant.
Yeah, that is super appealing. It makes sense too. Like,
yeah,
some post build in there.
Yeah, I don't know what this Darwin thing. I see it every now and then. I don't know what it is. Dasync. Darwin x64. I know this is like a pre-build thing that they have, but like, I don't know if that means they're using something fancy, which I don't expect them to.
Could just be one of the fun intricacies of the npm world we live in.
Yeah. Oh, ES build.
It could be from that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm still not def. I mean, I only use ES build from Svelte, so that could be it. Okay. All right. Now we're set up. This is why I want Gitpod. I'm a recent Gitpod convert.
Yeah.
Ooh, I see UI.dev. Is that Tyler? I see UI.dev in the comments. People are saying LGTM, so this is nice. Okay. All right. So your first route, you're going to make the first new route to render at the post URL. I hope there's a light mode, by the way. I mean, I don't know. I always like to stream with light mode, but then my system's actually dark mode, and I'm too lazy to switch it now. Let's make a new route to render at the post URL. Before that, let's link to it. So we're gonna say link to post at approot.txs. Okay. Maybe we should run the app to like.
Make sure everything's good.
Oh my God, what's all this? Okay. All right. There's a bunch of APIs. All right. Links function, blah, blah, blah. Where do I add the links to? It doesn't say. This is a giant file.
Oh, it must be like in the header. So in that unordered list up on like line 90-ish.
90-ish. There we go. Yeah, good call. Wow. Good eye. That's impressive. Okay. We should probably let it run so that we have some kind of live reload going on.
Yeah.
So I'm going to guess it's run start or dev.
Dev.
God damn it. I always want to run start. Like that's my default.
I wonder what the history of that is. Like what framework predecessors started using start and what switched it to dev.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And who started using 3000?
I don't know if it was Next.js first. I think it might have been something before Next.js.
Right. Okay. We might actually have some guests. So Tyler and Tanner. Let's see if people have been DMing me. Okay. Nope. I haven't seen that yet. Okay. So we have that live up and running. So let's just go ahead and spin that up. I might have to split my screen like 3 ways. Let's see if this is.
Oh, there you go.
Look at that. It loaded fast as heck. I don't actually have my window manager set up for that because I don't do this very often. But we're gonna just keep going. Okay, so we set up a route, and we can see that post thing that we just set up. I have everything at a nice size here. Okay, all right. Let's keep going. So we're gonna make their app routes posts. Okay, so is this the back end? No, we set up the link, and now we're just gonna have. So this is the equivalent of pages in Next.js.
Yeah.
App routes posts. Okay.
Yeah, I think
nice.
I think they use the file conventions like React Server Component style, where like .server.client. I think that's the distinction.
Right. Okay. And then anytime you see use terminals commands, blah, blah, blah. Very nice. We could have named it post.tsx, but we'll have another route soon. Okay. Yeah, I think I like the conversational style of these docs. Like it's really guiding you along the way. I could have struggled with like that giant file if you hadn't spotted it a little bit. But it was okay.
It's like what you said earlier, like their team has some of the best educators in the world in the developer space. So the docs are good from what I've read.
Yeah, exactly. There's also something that is definitely from Kent, which is that they're like little characters. So it's like every time you see this emoji, it stands for something. I never remember what it stands for, but I like that care. Okay, so there needs to be there's a post route now. I can click on the post route and it's live. Okay, so that was pretty fast hot reload. I don't actually know. That's 40 millisecond hot reload. Is that
that's
worthy
good.
of resell? I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
really
what
good.
the normal is.
Yeah,
but like it's pretty cool because like okay, let's see what a new page looks like. Test.tsx. Okay, so file created, rebuilding, and then rebuilt in 600 milliseconds, and then it reloads the page. And then when I do like a hot reload, let's say test. So that gets the page in 50 milliseconds. Presumably this is the options call, and then this is the real call, 35 milliseconds. It loads a blank page with a null. Very nice. Even when I have a blank file. I don't know how Next.js handles that actually, but if I say like export
404.
Oh yeah, maybe there's like a syntax for that. Look at GitHub Copilot.
Oh wow!
Copilot,
I need
the
to
wheel.
get Copilot. That's so handy.
How do you not have Copilot yet?
I don't know.
I feel like
I
don't know. You're well connected enough that the secret Illuminati should have tapped you already.
The AI Illuminati.
Yeah, it is the. I think Sunil Pai actually recently said like it's the most impressive use of AI that you've ever seen, but people aren't even commenting on it because it just kind of gets out of your way.
Yeah.
So I really like that. Okay, so hang on.
Hot reload,
I think I broke.
That good?
I think I broke the hot reload because I saved it already. Look at this. Yo. Oh, come on. It's still reloading posts. Okay. You see what happened? I have a tab open to posts and I have a tab open to tests, and it's not refreshing tests. So it doesn't hot reload everything. It just reloads one port. So perhaps that is the deal. So if I close this, if I close the post tab and I do another thing,
does that work? Maybe you need to do a hard refresh and then it will pick it up.
Yeah, I need to do a hard refresh. I know. Okay. Obviously this works. Let me open up another. Okay, so if I have two now, I'm going to say reload. That works and that works. Okay, all right.
So maybe it was just because it was like a brand new route being registered, you know?
Right. I wouldn't make a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's keep going. So we're now into loading data. Oh, see how fast we got into loading data? Like there was like a little bit of setup, and then now we're into data loading. So I really like that structure of the tutorial where you get to the value right away. People who got here probably already know React. Like, just get rid of all that. Just straight to the juicy part. API. So okay, if you're used to creating two things, API route and a front end component, in Remix, your front end component is also its own API route. I feel like that's an attack on Next.js right there. And it already talks from your browser. You don't have to fetch it. Okay, blah blah blah. All right. Use loader data. Yeah, this one I don't actually love this API. I saw it and I was like, yeah. In Svelte, you just use the same variable that you had from your server side.
And then SvelteKit has like a load function, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. SvelteKit, I mean, yeah. Okay, so we import use loader data, and then we specify some static data. So obviously this can be whatever data we want that executes on the server side, and then this is the client side stuff. I think that's what I mean. Maybe this is server side. Maybe this is client side. I don't know. I should not assume. Okay. Again, the hot reload kind of janky. Wait. Oh, well, we haven't displayed it yet. It's in the console log. Okay. All right. So loaders are the backend API for their component, and it's already wired up for you through use loader data. Sort of blurry line. Okay. All right.
I like the way they've explained that because context from Next.js, like a lot of people get stumped on get server-side props or get static props being the like API for the component. You know what I mean? Like it's the same idea, but I think they explained it well here.
Yeah. I see how they also like they use let, and they're like unapologetic about it. Because this can cause a flame war.
Oh yeah.
Fun fact: I had one talk where I actually consciously used let, const, and var all in the same talk, and nobody complained.
Just to burn it down.
I had a good reason for each, but usually people get into flame wars about this stuff. Okay, and then let's kind of map it out. Standard React stuff, nothing to comment about.
Yeah.
TypeScript is mad, so let's help it out. Oh, TypeScript, why are you mad? All right. I like how. What do you think about this? Like, okay, so their docs are TypeScript first, and there's no accommodation for JS at all.
Yeah.
Is that something that you struggle with?
Yeah, I think that's the world we're moving to. We get a lot of feedback that people say, why doesn't Next.js teach TypeScript first? So I think we'll probably move there at maybe not yet, but soon.
Wow. Okay. It's a bold step. Like I maybe brought that up like 3 years ago in LFI, and I was kind of people were like, no, it's an extra learning curve and all that. I think
the GOAT scenario is where you have a tab where it's like if I really want to copy paste, I can still copy paste the JavaScript.
Yeah. Okay. They didn't tell me to add the import here, so I have to go add that import. Yeah. So we have some code that you might want to steal actually for the tab thing. So we only write the code once, and then we do the transpile here. I think it's
nice.
Yeah. So if you look at temporal TypeScript docs, it's in there.
Oh yeah, congrats on shipping that.
Oh yeah. So I mean, that's the context. Like we actually had this discussion internally. Like, do we brand it the JavaScript SDK with TypeScript support, or do we just say TypeScript SDK? And we went back and forth a little bit. We decided on TypeScript basically just because we would recommend it ourselves. Like if you use temporal without type safety, it's a matter of time before you shoot yourself in the foot. You type the wrong string, whatever it is, like you're just gonna mess up at some point.
I think the Prisma team's the same way. I've noticed that as well. They're like, I mean, you can, but we recommend TypeScript.
I noticed. Okay, so you have to type it here, so it doesn't automatically type for you. I guess that makes sense. So you have to apply the types both at the definition point and then at the consumption.
It's kind of nice that it's teaching you TypeScript too. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I've never done TypeScript. At least I'm understanding.
Yeah. All right, some refactoring is in order. What?
Ooh, they might have to update that because I don't think touch exists on Windows, right? I think that's or maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. Anyone in the chat says, oh, Zeno's here. Hey, Zeno. Does anyone know if touch exists on Windows?
I feel like there was like a Linux specific command like that I got burned on once. I was like, oh, I didn't realize that was a Linux only thing. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyways,
whatever. Windows devs are very experienced at converting Mac instructions. They're kind of Mac interpreters. App/post.ts. I'm a bit confused. Why? Wait. Okay. I need a separate app. So post.ts. Okay. And then I need it at the app level. By the way, I'm like not super experienced at like this file manipulation stuff inside of VS Code. So let me know if there's like a more efficient way to do these things, because I don't really know. I'm just going to copy and paste the whole thing from these docs. So we have a couple of exports there, and then we update the routes page to return that. Okay, now this looks a little bit more like a server-side thing. Maybe I do this. Okay. Are you happy?
Nice.
Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Pulling from a data source. All right. Now, all right. So now we've set up this page. Now we're going to pull from data source. Yeah. Okay. I can see how this is like the basic hello world. Create a post folder in the root of project, not the app directory, but next to it. Okay. So post. And
That
then,
classic like click on the file that's not in the folder so that you can create a root folder in VS Code.
I don't know how else to do it.
I don't either. Is there a better way? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so if you know the file you're going to create, you can actually just type the post and then slash, and then it will just auto create the folder for you if it doesn't exist. So my first post.md. Honestly, I don't have to type all this. I mean, do you also know the shortcut for Lorem Ipsum? Because I don't know.
Oh, there is one in VS Code natively?
There's got it. I've seen people use it. I just don't know how to trigger it myself.
I wonder if they set up like a snippet or something. But yeah, I usually just Google Lorem Ipsum and then copy paste it in.
All right, we're gonna do a different startup Ipsum.
Ooh,
it's my favorite. Have you seen this?
Yeah,
there's cake and Ipsum. There's startup. There's cake. Yeah, there's a bunch. So we're gonna do long tail strategy stock Holy Grail branding. Okay, all right.
Wow.
Okay, great. I mean, have some fun, right? Copy. All right. Disruption. Okay, few understand this. All right, that's good. And then let's go back to. And then we have whatever. I just copied this over. I think I have mixed up the posts, but I also don't care. Okay, update get posts. Oh, we need to read front matter. Oh, okay. Now, do I need to kill? This is always. Do I need to kill this server to npm install? I feel like we do.
Yeah, probably.
But just to live on the wild side.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it understands.
I mean, that's a tall order. I don't know.
But
so
like,
okay, like you think about it mechanically, right? Like you're just adding a new folder in node modules, and then you add some dependency that requires it. It should hot reload. It should just work.
You would think. Maybe it does. I might be just used to doing that. It might not be the new way of the world.
Yeah. Okay, so we have some file reading things. All right, so for those who want to do this kind of thing, there's a better library for this than front matter, and I think it is like we use it in Netlify's own examples, but there's one that actually just like kind of reads through all these folders. You just give it a file path, and it just goes through and parses everything for you. So you don't have to write all this manually. I'm blanking on the name, but it's in my demos somewhere. All right, I'm just gonna paste this in. So this is pretty standard file reading stuff, so there's nothing to learn here. This is a node file system tutorial. Just trust us in the code. If you did not use Remix app server, you need to add a ... on the path. Also note you can't deploy this demo anywhere that doesn't have a persistent file system. TypeScript is going to be mad at that code. Oh, Jesus. Look at this. Like every so often you're like stopping to make TypeScript happy. I don't know how, like, it's fine, right? Like we said, we believe in TypeScript. It's just very disruptive for teaching.
Yeah. Yeah, my view is like TypeScript has to augment my workflow and make it better, not cause more friction. So if it's causing more friction, then I'm like, screw the type. I'm just not doing it.
Well, it's causing friction right here. That we just like instead 2 giant chunks of passages dedicated to making TypeScript happy. Okay, all right. So do we? Does this work now? Yeah, this works. Oh, okay. We haven't set up the dynamic routes. So now we're setting up dynamic routes. Okay, so they opted for dollar syntax. Ooh, yeah. Why?
Yeah, it's that was I think one of the reasons. I guess I don't know a good reason why for. It probably is in the doc somewhere. But one of the cons is that you have to escape it.
Just in touch. Okay.
Yeah, just in the terminal.
Okay. I guess that's why. All right. So Hassan says Lorem tab. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Wow. Right. Good shot, Lorem. Hassan.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah. And then you can add a number to Lorem if you want a specific number. So that's like Lorem 5. Yeah, I've definitely seen this. So that's Lorem for 5 words, and then Lorem 200. That's 200 Lorem words.
Wow.
Yep. There you go. That's Lorem. Okay. Yeah, see, that's useful. I tried it once and it didn't work and I gave up. Okay, so this is the dynamic page. I'm not even gonna wait
I
for
wonder
this. I'm just
why.
gonna
I
load.
wonder why some have export default and some use arrow functions. Like,
Oh, that's because this is a lib. Think of this as the lib folder. This is nothing, not a special file at all, right? So you're just reusable types, reusable functions. That's it. Whereas this one is an export default because it's a page, right?
Yeah,
I think it's the same. It's the same for Next.js.
Yeah, I was just wondering mostly like if there was a reason they didn't use function instead of an arrow function for the loader, but it's I mean,
gotcha.
same thing, really.
Gotcha. Yeah. Kyle Simpson actually feels strongly about this one because here you're actually creating an anonymous function and then assigning it to a variable called meta. And he's like, when you look at the stack trace, this will be like, you know, unnamed function or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's a stylistic thing.
That's that makes sense. That's probably why like post slug. It's probably why it does use the name function, because that was something we updated all the Next.js docs for, so that the stack traces for the React components have names. If you do an arrow function for that, there isn't a name in the stack trace. So yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there you go. All right. So this should work. Some posts. Wait, I don't have the body yet. Okay. All right. Just show me. Okay. So this is like a very incremental step. Okay. You know, have you seen? You know what would be really good for this? Gatsby code waves. Have you seen this?
Code waves.
I'm about to blow your mind.
Okay.
Gatsby theme waves. Okay. Prepare your mind to be blown. Everyone, like get ready your reaction shots.
Oh
okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you've seen this. You've seen this.
Well, I haven't seen this exact same thing, but there's a tool called Code Hike that's similar, and it's like this is the future. Like this is so nice.
You guys should actually just hire him. I don't know what he does for a living, but
he's great.
He's in the wrong job.
Yeah, he's great. I love this. I love this type of interactive.
Because that's what they're trying to do here, right? They're just gonna say like insert this stuff, like blah blah blah, keep scrolling. Like they could probably do it. I mean, they do it on the landing page.
One small thing here that's really nice though is like the specific line highlights with syntax highlighting, just so you can visually understand like which specific lines change. I do like that a lot.
Yeah, it's just you have to set it up with remark. So it took me a while to learn how to do that. Okay. Yeah, exactly. All right, so we have the header, and then let me just make sure I'm on the right page. Oh, and then we need to load it in. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're on the dynamic route page, slug.tsx. We're loading in that data. We're getting params, and we're getting the slug. So now when I look at the completed page, which I've now conveniently hidden, this should actually say the name of that post. Okay, that's fine. All right. I only have the slug, which is not useful info. I actually need the rest of the body of the info. So then I have the loader function. Is that it? Oh, this is again TypeScript issue. Oh, okay, so it does refresh without making TypeScript happy. That's good. So it's not blocking basically. Okay, all right. TypeScript's happy. Add a get post function to our post module. All right. Something like that. Okay. All right. This would be interesting. So do you have a favorite like CMS API? Because like get post, like this is a very, very standard thing that people want. Get post. Oh, tilde. You see that? See that little shortcut there?
Oh yeah. Do they have aliases by default? Maybe.
Yeah. Is it set up in package JSON? Where do you set aliases? Is it TS?
I guess TS config or J. Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's nice. Is that a standard that's emerging? Because Svelte has it, but we use @ I like using $ for aliases because it makes clear that it's completely alien to npm. I think it'd be nice to have some best practices around these things because it's gonna get messy. It's gonna get magical.
It's nice to have that from the start.
Okay. In this tutorial, I think I just replaced that. And then one more. post.title. Okay, so here we switch from using the slug to actually saying post.title. And you didn't highlight. Okay, the highlighting is a bit buggy because this thing was actually changed, but they didn't tell me to change that. See, this is why we record. The first run experience.
Good feedback for them to fix.
So now the H1s are correct. And then we could probably say post.body, except we need to turn Markdown into HTML. Okay. Yeah. There's a different library here that I use. Do you mind taking a detour? Do you mind if I take a detour to find that library?
Sure.
React static netlify. There used to be a starter. I bet I can find it in 2 seconds. Tanner, if you're still watching, you probably know what the library I'm talking about. Oh god, it used to be like one of those, one of the React Statics standard demos. React Static demo. Okay, Josh Mander says, I'm not a fan of using invariant to satisfy TypeScript. I'd rather have a loader function type accept a params object so you can tell it what params are coming in. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure about that either. I haven't tried it. I'm just copying and pasting. Okay, we're still going through exam. Oh, okay. What? All right. Where is the very basic? Sorry, this is
Markdown. Maybe Markdown example.
Yeah.
Maybe
for that library. That library was super dependable. JDown. There we go. So you literally point it at a directory, and it would just slurp up all that data, and then it would parse everything out for you. We have Johannes Schickling here from previously from Prisma, and he's actually been working on a project called Content Layer. I've been trying it out. It's actually pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's launched yet. I'm not sure if it has docs. But Content Layer, I think, is kind of like the next step after JDown. So, all right, let's look at JDown first. So JDown it's kind of like a file walker plus Markdown parser. It's just like one dependency. You point it at a path, and it just slurps up everything into a content. And then this just has the objects with all that stuff. So it does all the parsing in the front matter. Like right now, this documentation, this docs are trying to teach us to do individually. But they should just I think they use something like JDown or Content Layer. So okay, JDown does it only for a single path in Markdown, whereas Content Layer does multiple local paths, local source content, and remote source content.
Yeah,
just dumps everything into a known module called .content layer, and then it just refreshes accordingly there. So that's why I liked it. I haven't tried it in a while, but it does what it says on the tin. Johannes, hopefully I'm representing your project. But it is pretty impressive, actually. I'm a bit scared to try it out now, but that would be what it is. All right. Okay. Advertisement over. Let's just keep going because I feel like we're almost halfway. I don't like copying and pasting so much. I have to turn my brain on for this stuff. App/post.ts. And you know what? For the rest of the stream, I think instead of running code, we'll just kind of read through and kind of comment on it. So I feel like we'll move a little bit faster. We'll have to install marked. npm add.
It's interesting that I found that there are some people that really prefer to learn by, the lines are highlighted. They want to actually type all of this out. They really want to follow along line by line.
Sure, some kind of muscle memory.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. All right, so there's Markdown, but we're not showing it yet. I don't know. I have no value from it because I know how to do this. Slug.tsx. Okay. Ooh, dangerously set inner HTML. We need something that's less dangerous. I don't know if I don't know how
Makes me scared.
Stop. Yeah, this cannot be how we include Markdown.
That's some great Lorem Ipsum.
Disruption.
Yeah.
Disruptive Android paradigms shift supply chain. Okay. All right. So that okay. Oh, okay. So I think we're about to get to the write part. So right now we're read only. Now we're gonna have a write part. Okay. So app routes admin.tsx. App routes admin.tsx, and then I'm gonna move that out here, and then just gonna paste that in here. Oh, we're building our own admin panel as well. This I'm not a fan of. I'm basically at a stage in my life where I'm just like, I'm not building any more CMSs. You know, I'm done.
Yeah, I feel that.
Okay, so then we're adding a style sheet. Why don't you just include this for me? Why am I?
Is it a CSS module?
This is CSS module.
It looks like it should. It'd have to have the module syntax, I think. So.
Right. So I think a lot of their argument is that you don't need it because they do the adding and removing for you. I don't actually know how to. Yeah, they have the kind of this weird syntax for styles. So styles, where's the admin here? Cancel. Admin. Okay, so no, chuck it in here. Yeah, absolute. Okay, so this is the other API, right? So we've learned the page API, which is standard React default component, and then we've learned the loader API, and here's the links API, which is pretty. I wonder if it's type safe. It is. No, this is inferred. So there probably is something that we could import, like links. I'm just gonna do a wild guess, and oh, I can see the source. Link props. You see here?
Yeah.
It says remix.
It's got to be that, right?
All right. And what is this? I wish there was a way to expand this.
Yeah, like click in. Can you command click into the import?
Yeah. Remix link props prefetch. Oh, okay, no, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Link props is for the link component.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a slightly confusing name. I'm going to try one more thing, which is I noticed this link, which this is just an Emmet abbreviation. Okay, screw that. Okay, all right. We don't know what the link props are. So yeah. All right, let's keep going. Each route can export a links function, which returns an array of link tags. I wonder if they can export a header tag, because that's what Svelte does. What else can you use links for apart from style sheet? Is it just style sheets? I don't know.
Good point. I'd have to look.
Okay. So did that take effect? Because I don't see any difference. Oh, this is only on admin, so we need to go to admin. All right. Now we have to set up a bunch of routes as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay. App routes admin index. App routes admin. Oh, this is now a folder. God damn it. Wait. What happens when it conflicts like that? Well, there's an admin file and then there's an admin folder with an index.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're telling me to do. I'm not sure.
I'm actually not sure how that works in Next.js either. I think it throws an error if there's duplicates.
It should, because like now I don't know where it comes from. So okay, so right now it's straight up ignoring this file I just created. App routes admin index.tsx, and it's just ignoring that. It should say create a new post, but it doesn't, because right now it's just resolving to app routes admin.tsx, the single file where I do have some stuff here. So do I remove it? Do I move it? I'm sure they're about to tell me. Wait. Okay. We probably skipped over something where they said like delete it or some shit like that. No. They just no. I feel like this is a little bit of a hole. All right. Let's just keep going. We know what we're doing. I hope. Okay. So okay. Look. You said you just told me to say app routes admin index.tsx, and then down here is app routes admin.tsx.
Yeah, they should. Well, yeah, it should be the same thing, right?
I
think that might be a typo, because they should.
So
like the outputted route in your application should be the same thing.
Okay, we have some people from the comments giving us info. So Emir says if we wanted the types, it's links function. So yep, thanks Emir. Gotcha. And then the other one is admin.tsx needs an outlet. So I think we're about to learn a new API here.
Okay.
So let's not jump to conclusions. Okay, so we're going back to admin.tsx, and then it's gonna just import this outlet thing. I'm gonna guess that it's like a slot thing. Main outlet. There we go.
Okay, that makes sense.
Where have I seen outlet before? I've seen outlets in other places. Maybe it's like a view thing.
Yeah, I think that terminology makes sense.
Okay, it's not so. All right, so there's some nesting here going on. This outer view, this external view, is controlled by the top with a single file, and then this inner view is controlled by index.tsx. All right. Andrew says outlet is an Ember.js thing.
Oh yeah.
Did you know that? I didn't know that. I've never played Ember. So.
I think I remember seeing. I think it was like Sam talk about that, but.
Yeah, outlet is like Svelte and view slots, and also a feature of ReachRouter. It's from ReachRouter for sure. Yeah, that's where I saw it. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. It's just confusing to have like normal Node.js. You kind of would stay away from having these overlapping routes. All right, index. Okay, so it says hang on with us for a minute. Index routes can be confusing at first. Just know it when the URL matches the parent route's path, the index will render inside the outlet. Okay, index will render inside the outlet. All right. Maybe this will help. Let's add the admin new route. Yeah, okay. I mean, sure, new convention. I can live with it. I hope people will adjust to that. Completely fine by me. So click the link from the index route and watch the outlet automatically swap out the index route for the new route. Hey! So
there you go.
So this stays the same. The others are more dynamic. I think this is an interesting reason that Scott Tolinsky had an issue with like Next.js routing, because Next.js routing is kind of like top, very page driven, and didn't have an outlet like this. And that's one of the issues that he talked about this for like 2 years before moving to Svelte. So I like that Remix tackled this head on. Yeah. Okay, actions. We're gonna get serious now. We were not serious before. Let's build a form. Okay, this is their hot feature. All right, import form from Remix. Remix is also a form library. Who knew? Have you tried out the ecosystem of form libraries, Lee?
Unfortunately, yes. There's so many.
Which do you gravitate to?
I think I've probably used Formic the most, just because I had used it in like a larger project, so I got pretty familiar with all the APIs. There's quite a few React form libraries now, though. So React Hook Form, React Final Form. I don't know.
I tried Hook Form. I would say Hook Form is my go-to until I need something like a Formic. And I like the docs as well. It's just very nicely presented, and it's just one guy working on it. It's pretty incredible. And I think what's Tom Preston Warner's project? Redwood. Redwood uses React Hook Form. Okay, all right. We have a basic form, and then we're if you love HTML like us, you should be getting pretty excited. If you've been doing a lot of form on submit and button on click, you're about to have your mind blown. I mean, I'm excited about it, but also like I've used HTML forms. It's fine.
I mean, there's trade-offs to both, right? With like server-side forms versus client-side forms for client-side validation of inputs. So
right. Yeah, I mean, their argument is like a progressive upgrade, right? Like, just do this; it'll be sort of standard and performant even without JavaScript, and then progressively upgrade it with like some methods and stuff. But I mean, I'm paying attention to the demo path of like how you tell the story of like, okay, this is client side, this is server side, and when to upgrade to each. To me, that's important as a DevRel type person. All right, some commentary from the stream. CJ from Stripe is here. First place I remember outlets IO stuff. Yep. Okay. Blah blah blah. Tanner says, I think it'll be trivial for Next to add nested routing.
It would be it'd be trivial to add, but to support over time and never break the API.
Yeah, if it was trivial, it would have already been done. Like this is such a demanded thing.
He has a valid point. Like it is doable. I think we've just been trying to figure out the correct way to do it. And then with server components on the horizon, it's like, well, I'm not sure.
I don't know either. No comment on all that stuff. Tanner says informed is the one I love. Great library used at Tesla.
Oh, that's a new one. I haven't heard of that one.
Never heard of it. All right, let's go.
There's so many, and they're probably all good.
Let's see. Informed, 540 stars. We're early on this. Okay, let's get this up.
Yeah, this is gonna be good.
All right.
Whoa.
What?
Oh, I saw your deploy to Netlify button like built in. That must be a Chrome extension.
Yeah. Oh, you should. This is such a growth hack. I mean, it's not a growth hack because
I was like, whoa, did GitHub acquire Netlify? That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, this is non-public. When does this go out?
Yeah, that's cool.
No, I wish GitHub acquired Netlify. That would be very nice for my bank account. But
yeah,
not happening. Not happening yet. Okay, what is so different about this? Tanner, can you give the informed pitch? Yeah, just let us know in the comment what you think about it. We don't have to go through all this. Group fields, I think always could be a little bit better. So it looks like, wow, this is all you need for, okay, all right. I'm convinced by this already.
Man, there's so many levels to forms. Like
yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Especially when you try to integrate a form library with your like custom UI component library too, you can get into some interesting situations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it needs to be headless. I don't see it any other way. Okay, all right. I'm just closing some tabs. Get that nice closed tab feeling. All right, so let's add create post anywhere inside of post.ts. Okay, where's post app post.ts? This is like our lib folder. Just you dump all your functions here that you don't want to write out anywhere else. Call create post from new post routes action. All right, so let's go back to admin new, and then we'll call create post together with a new redirect. I think it's interesting. I think form library, like Remix basically saying like, okay, React Router wasn't enough. Like we'll add a form library and kind of make that seamless, do server-side rendering. Like it's so weird to have your like a redirect together with a form from the same library.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. Okay. And then all right. So here's where we're using remix actions for the first time. The heck is a remix action? I bet it's like Svelte actions. It's not. Remix action is I bet it's more like middleware. That's how you see it's like it's getting the form data. So this is like kind of the server side, API where
so it's like a on click, but it's the server side on click, right?
Oh, that's a good analogy. Man, you just came up with that. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It seems right. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, yeah. I mean, okay, it's server side in a way that you don't attach on click anywhere. It just reacts to forms only.
Yeah.
Right. So an on click is more generic than that. Okay. All right. TypeScript is unhappy again. So look at this dance. I don't like this dance. I really don't like jumping back and forth between files and like. No, that's not it, man.
Yeah, it depends if you're optimizing your like getting started for speed. Then maybe you don't want to teach TypeScript to get started. It just depends. It's such a delicate balance.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Well, I mean, or you put everything on a single page, right? I was just talking about the dance between files.
Yeah, that too.
Because every single time you have to say like, oh, you're in a new file now. Just and for someone who's like not paying attention or someone who's like new to all this. I remember I probably had, time early on in my dev career where I was super confused. Like, which file am I in again? Yeah. But obviously, this helps. People can figure that out eventually. All right. Then we have more types that we need to add in. Action function. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense that let's go ahead and add that links function as well. That's a different thing. Never mind. I'll just ignore what I just said. What is this title? Okay.
TypeScript.
This is not the right. Why?
Hey, I need to drop, but thanks for having me. Thanks for having me hang out. I'm gonna go eat some supper.
Oh yeah, enjoy. Hey, it was good seeing you on Saturday. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
And more remix impressions, I'm sure, will be coming from you.
Yeah, I'll have to watch the rest of this video and see how it goes.
It's not gonna be that great. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, this was fun. See ya.
Yeah. All right. All right. Solo show for now. If anyone else wants, if we know each other, come on in. You can just DM me and we'll get something set up. I see Ben. Okay. Ben Patton offered to join, but I think he's gone already because he had some other stuff. If anyone watching wants to jump on in the stream, you're welcome to just DM me on Twitter. Okay, we got to figure out this types. Type null is not assignable to type string. What? Okay, I think, did I do anything wrong first of all, or is it their fault? I feel like this is some kind of typing issue that I just cannot be bothered with. So I'm just gonna ignore this and keep going. Invariant probably again, maybe, but like also they didn't say anything about invariant. Oh, they did. Oh no, this is more of like an invalidation validation thing. What? Where does invariant come in? What? Okay, these docs are a little bit unclear right now. Yeah, but okay, but they don't explain the invariant. TypeScript is still mad. Okay, yeah, there you go. All right, okay, all right. Let's just keep going on this tutorial, and hopefully, we'll be in a good place. Blah blah blah. Copy paste. So now we're creating. Now we're doing some validation before we create posts. All of this is pretty standard. If something and then true, whatever. And then we're gonna have validation messages to the UI. Oh, very nice, very fancy. I like it. This is really good user experience. Although I feel like the validation messages should come from the server side rather than the client side. And it's the same file, which is great. So we're pasting that component, the validation messages on the client side, and here in the action, we're doing validation here as well. Okay, all right, whatever. Okay. People say to keep going, so thank you for being patient. And yeah, let's bring in invariants again now and make TypeScript happy. All right, perfect. Why are you still mad? God, I do not have time for your BS. Okay. For some real fun, disable JavaScript in your DevTools and try it out. Okay, all right. I think we're about to have an aha moment right here. So I think if I save it and I have my posts up. Oh wait. Because Remix is built on the fundamentals of HTTP and HTML, this whole thing works without JavaScript in the browser. Right. It doesn't tell me when to actually try it out. Use action data is not defined. Hang on. I haven't done some imports. I like that everything is a single dependency, so I don't have to know which package I'm using. Okay, so let's actually try out something first. I'm just going to say title. This is a title 1 Lorem Ipsum. Yes, I missed the import. I fixed the import. Thank you for spotting that. All right, so we added this is a title locally. Did I also add it on the my file system? When did I write that file system code? Wait, what? When did I write the file system? Oh, it's in create post, so it's on here. So fs write file was done here. Okay, I didn't remember it because I copy pasted it. Okay, so So the assertion is that I'm going to turn JavaScript off. And actually, how do I turn JavaScript off? Disable JavaScript. All right. So there's no JavaScript here. And we're going to say this is post number 2, post 2, markdown body. I'm going to submit this, and it should pop up here inside of the post folder, even if I don't have JavaScript. Yeah, that's good because it has a running server, and the running server is accepting that info. All right, I'm turning JavaScript back on and keep going because none of that was a surprise. So Josh says you can just type disable JavaScript after opening Chrome's command palette. Yeah, I was about to do that, but I decided to try to be fancy a little bit. Yeah, all right. That was simple. Thank you, Josh. Okay, so now we're going back to the docs. We say, slow our action down with a fake delay. We're too fast. We're too furious. Slow action down. Action function. Where's the action function? Oh. Here. Right now. And we're going to use the new use transition API from React. Wait, why is it from Remix? Is it just re-exported? I hope it's the same function. I'm not sure if it's the same one. I don't know. This is normally from React. So okay, all right. Let's see what it does. Let transition equals use transition. That's all the way down here. And then we can do that transition dance. I like it. I mean, this is the simplest way to do something like a without state. Like the state's kind of just managed for you inside of use transition. So that's pretty useful. Okay. I like this from Josh. It says, for real fun, assign that promise to a variable named loitering and then await loitering. Get real cheeky in your code. Sure. Doesn't actually change anything about the code. But fun names are always great. Now the user gets an enhanced experience than if we had just done this without JavaScript in the browser at all. Some other things that you could do to make it better is automatically slugify the title into the slug field or let the user override it. Maybe we'll add that later. Yeah, right. All those are pretty easy. Okay, so let's actually see this at work. So we should try to make new posts. I'm just going to thank you, Josh. And then thanks, Josh, for slug. And then this is a body. So we should see all the way in here, this submit thing. It should take a second to resolve, and then it should resolve. So one thing I also like to do is I like to make all the form labels or whatever disabled. So we can do something like transition.submission. If it's truthy, we can disable it, right? I wonder if you can disable forms. Let's go ahead and disable the whole damn thing. No. It's just an area attribute. Screw it. Okay, and then did that not work? Okay, and then if I can disable inputs as well, disable. Okay. This work? Type action submission is not what action submission is not assignable to type true. It's not assignable to type true because this could be undefined. All right. So what you do here is you do bang bang, and then you shoot it down, and you bang bang again to hit the ground. Little tricks like that make TypeScript happy. I enjoy. I wonder if there's any styling here. All right, let's test that out again. So while I'm submitting, this is disabled. This should gray out a little bit. I can't edit that. Great, fantastic. Julian Ng says, submission is an enum. Yes, yep, got it. Brent says, shut it down. Yeah, there we go. Bang, bang, you shut me down. Bang, bang, you hit the ground. Oh, we just finished. Your homework is your. Okay, this really bugs me. I don't know. It's a very American thing to say your with an E. Obviously, it's a typo, but like, doesn't it bother people to say your? I don't know. Your homework is to make an admin edit page for your posts. The links are already there in the sidebar, but they 404. Create a new route that reads the posts, puts them into the fields. All the code you need is already in app routes post slug.ts and app routes post new.ts. You just got to put it together. All right. Okay, let's actually do this. Let's do the edit post. What link? Oh, if we do this, oh, they do the 404. Okay, so this actually pulls together all the knowledge that we accumulated in this tutorial, right? So we need /admin/dynamic route, and then we need to be able to interpret that with the editor, and then we need to be able to save that info. So we're kind of going off piste here because we reached the end of the tutorial, but hopefully with your help, we'll be able to figure it out, and that would be a very nice exploration of Remix. Yeah, I know it's a typo. It's a pet peeve of mine. Okay, so this is inside. So we need to add a slug inside of the admin. So I'll just say slug.tsx. I wonder if you can name it something else. So to be adventurous, I'm gonna live dangerously and say snail.tsx. All right, we'll call it snail. And then we're gonna do an edit. Okay, so let's copy over the slug syntax here. So we'll say use loader data, expected param slug. Instead of slug, I bet it says snail. I don't know. This could be complete BS. Let me just log it out. Log it out. Just log it out. Log it out. My favorite way of logging is using the pre tag, and then you JSON stringify with nulls. So this is nicely formatted as well. Pretty standard for people who do demos, but if you're new to this, you don't know the arguments to the rest of the arguments to JSON.stringify. Now you know. All right, so now we have dynamic posts. So click this. Okay. So it doesn't have slug, but it has snail. Please, if that works, I love you forever. Oh, okay. Josh says PRB, submitting PR to fix that typo so I can say I contributed to Remix. You know, I always like docs that actually tell you how to edit it, and there's no edit button here. So please add an edit button, because I'm adding one right now to my thing. Okay, all right. So then we're still trying to figure out on our own how to do this. We need to get the info. So we have all this info here. We need to populate it in an editor field. All right. So where's the editor field? It's in the create stuff, and I can just populate it with all this data. So I think if I just use these forms, it'll be fine. In fact, I can copy over much of everything here. Do I just have a new form with some slight edits? I think I do. I think all of this can be pretty much just copied over. In fact, can I make this props? So I can fill this in, so I can reuse it. I think I can. So let's go ahead and say something to the effect of, well, where do I? Okay. All right. I done it. All right. So I have all these optional props here, and usually these are undefined, but if they are defined, I can say title title, stupid JSX syntax, really dumb. It's not really dumb. I mean, it's intentional, but I don't feel that strongly about it. No, actually, why am I doing that? This is stupid. Okay, default value. There we go. There we go. Yeah, go away. All right. Okay, so now we've turned this into sort of like a reusable component thing, and I can probably import one page from the other page, and it should work because then I can submit, and it would basically do the exact same thing. Dude, if I've just figured that out and it works, I am gonna feel like a genius. Genius, I tell you, genius. Import form component from /new. Okay, and then I'm gonna put that in there. So now instead of a div, I have a instead of a div, I have a form. Ooh, look at that. Nicely done, except you're wrong. I need to spread you. Spread. That work? Oh. How do I spread the thing? That's it? Shit. Please tell me that worked. All right, let's change some titles. This is disabled. This is not disabled. Wait, the markdown is a bit weird. Why is it blank? It should not be blank. Let's look at the post. I always put in markdown. So the markdown is wrong. Something is wrong with the markdown. Let's look at the markdown. Okay, so text area. Josh says, I use TypeScript with any. Josh says, no need for auto records. Yeah, okay, we figured all that out. So default value doesn't apply for markdown, for text area. This is something I would Google. Text area does not have default value. Placeholder? Dude, this is such a wrong answer. Why does this such a... No. All right, this is just a child. He said, one day you'll leave us all behind. So live a life. I sing a lot when I code. I don't know if you know. I hope that's it. If this is undefined, it will print undefined, which is not what I want. So what I would do is I'll do something like a... Instead of a double bar, I would use the double question mark for knowledge coalescing. For sense. Okay. This should work. Huh. All right, I need some help. Andrew says, put it between opening and closing tags. I just did that, and it's not showing. Test. If I do reload. Okay, so it really thinks this is just empty. That's wrong. That's just... Josh says, default value is correct when text area doesn't have context in it. Sometimes CJ says there's a weird spacing thing too where you don't want new lines before or after that value. I don't know what that means. Okay. I mean, yeah, you can trim. Trimming is fine. We still haven't handled the fact that this is not showing as I expect. So let's just go ahead and say something like a div, markdown. I don't know. Maybe I should just console log this. Oh. Josh spotted it. Josh says, your get post function returns title, slug, and HTML, not markdown. You need to change that to also include markdown. Dude, lifesaver, 10 out of 10, most MVP commenter on the planet. All right, post. There we go. There we go. You see, types would have been nice here. Yes, Julian has also spotted it. Fantastic. Sorry for the. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now we have it working. Look at this. We have an edit page working. Except it doesn't refresh. Why doesn't it refresh? Why? Why doesn't it refresh? What the? What? It's. Okay. Let me go back to default value. I bet you that it's gonna work now. Default value. Hey, it's just React. React. If it's not a prop, I'm not gonna re-render. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Wait, hang on. No, it's still not working, man. Look, it doesn't switch. Okay. I'm gonna try what is called a pro gamer move. Key equals markdown. Hey! Does anyone know what I did there? So you guys are the 15-second delay. So hopefully you caught that pro gamer move right in there. So this is like, React depends on keys to re-render, and when you have some kind of stale bug like that, let me just remove that key just to explain. Like the reconciliation algorithm ignores these changes when it determines that. So right now, when I switch posts, it doesn't update because the reconciliation algorithm views this as exactly the same element. So you can force a re-render with the key. Exactly right. So Josh is there. So people who are experienced with React, you know this, but people who are new, this is often an issue. Anyway, so let's go ahead and change some titles and see this working. I'm just going to shout out everybody here. Thank you, Josh. Okay. Oh, something's wrong. It's stuck at creating. I bet there's an error. I need to add an action function to the route. Look at that. It would be nice to have an error overlay for this, because you have to know to look for an error. Yeah, okay. I mean, totally reasonable. Wait, I have an action. The hell are you talking about? What? Root? Okay. Yo, I'm gonna do something stupid again. Are you ready for this? You're not ready for this. It's gonna be so insane. Export. So what are we gonna do? Is we're gonna go export action from you. That's it. Thank you, Josh. Please work. Hey! Thank you, Andrew. Hey! Thank you, CJ. All right, that's 2 pro gamer moves that I showed off right there. I'm a little bit rusty with React, so I'm pretty happy that we did that. Does anyone have ideas on like stuff that we can do from here? Because I feel like we kind of maxed out that learning curve already. Honestly, I feel like this is a good stopping point. I kind of want to go through the docs, but like I don't know. This is kind of like a long stream already. Let's have a browse through the docs, and if I feel compelled, I'll do it. But otherwise, this might be it. Swap down the Markdown file system stuff with Prisma. I'm not that much of a Prisma expert. Josh, if you want to help me out here, it's totally doable. I'm not that. No, I want to learn Remix. I'm not that interested in like non-Remix stuff, right? Like that's the whole point of being here. Okay, wait, where are the other docs? Okay, so then there's a jokes. So we just did the quick start. There's a jokes app deep dive. There's conventional APIs. There's Remix package API reference. Let's browse through the jokes app tutorial together, and then we'll go through a bit of the Remix APIs just to see if there's anything going on. Oh, there's a live stream. Oh, wow. He's already did one. Okay. 6 hours. So there's a 6-hour live stream if you want to go through that. Okay. Oh, Julian says the error boundary. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's try to add the error boundary as well. Where do I learn the error boundary? God damn it. All right. So this is okay. Now we're switching from going through tutorial to just kind of head diving into randomly looking around. Oh, there we go. Hey. But the thing about error boundaries is that they don't catch every error, and a lot of the errors that you would expect it to catch actually it's like not a React error. All right, receives one prop the error that occurred. Okay, the hell do I do with this? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to use it. Where do I use it? We use the word error to mean an uncaught exception, something you didn't anticipate happening. This is different from other types of errors that you're able to recover from easily. For example, a 404 error, where you can still show something in the user interface to indicate that you weren't able to find some data. A remix error boundary component. Julian says, any route can export it, from what I understand. So what? Where would I use this? Yeah, I don't know. I like it from the React error boundary angle. So it's the one that Brian created. So I understand this one. It's just like a fallback component. But this just displays error. Yeah. Okay. Josh says, I may be wrong, but if you exported error boundary from the root route, you could theoretically implement error overlays in dev. If loader throw on component or a component throw. How would I implement error overlays in dev? Okay, so we had that error just now where we tried to do it, where we wish for an error overlay. If you exported error boundary from the root route, what the hell do you mean export? Like, export what? It's export. Oh, okay. Where's the root route? This one. Remix renders the closest error boundary. That makes sense. All right, so let's go ahead and export this error boundary. And then let's go ahead and remove the action. So now this route does not have an action. All right, so now we're intentionally going to create an error by trying to load something. So previously the action, when the error was missing, it would kind of show up in the console. But now I expect it to just be replaced by the whole screen, just to be replaced by an error. So let's go ahead and submit. There's no action. Nope, the error is still here. So yeah, it doesn't catch that. Something like that. Okay. Julian says Remix renders the closest error boundary root.tsx. Okay. We have to use root.tsx. So I implemented it on the wrong page. Where's root.tsx? Oh, right there. Root.tsx. Wait, why isn't it there by default? It seems pretty useful. Oh, it's already there. Guys, it's already there. Error boundary. Oh, it's already there in the default layout. It didn't catch the action. Yeah. So Julian says, weird that it didn't catch the action. Instead of wrapping with error boundary, every route can just export one and it'll take it from there. I mean, I just tried it and it didn't work. Maybe it doesn't catch action errors. I don't know. Wouldn't presume to know. Okay. Any other suggestions? Viper FX says, what about deployment? Just going over it briefly. The problem with deployment, because that's what they warned us about, is that here we have a CRUD app, right? That is writing to this thing called posts. And we don't have a file system in a lot of deployment scenarios. I mean, I could try deploying on render and seeing that work. Maybe fly.io, does that work? I don't know. Okay, let's look at their deployment docs. Do they have deployment docs? No, deployment. Okay. I bet you could deploy in Cloudflare, but I'm not that experienced with Cloudflare. Like Cloudflare workers, essentially. Like instead of, like basically, I would swap out the post.tsx. So instead of saying fs.write file, you could just write into a Cloudflare KV. So Josh says, render has file systems now. Last I heard, it was still in progress. I think it always has had it. Render.com. Systems. Yeah, persistent disk right there. Yeah, yeah, it's been there from day one, man. Okay. Yeah, so you can use workers. You can use Cloudflare. Fly.io probably has this. It's been a while since I used it, so. Do they have storage? Where is your volumes? Yeah. Dude, it's so good. Honestly, like if Netlify and Vercel do not have a storage solution like tomorrow, they're gonna fall behind. Like these options are so amazing. Yeah. Anyway, long story there. Okay, let's. I just want to browse a bit more. I mean, I think the deployment story is pretty straightforward. I think something about the caching, which is used to be a much bigger part of the story that they told, is not here. Maybe caching, cache, HTTP caching. There we go. Oh, this website is deployed on fly.io. See, that makes sense. But this website is not a CRUD website. Bill Nye says, yo, what do you think of Supabase? I am all about the Supabase. You could actually use Supabase inside of here as well for your storage layer. So you could use Netlify plus Supabase, Vercel plus Supabase. That could work. Yep, totally. All right. I'm just going to walk through some of the guides, and then we'll call it a stream. Yeah. Okay. So accessibility on Remix looks like accessibility. Links are standard anchor tag. Routing, if you're rendering scripts, you need to think about routing for focus management and live regions. They haven't included it yet, it looks like. Okay. All right, Julian is leaving. So thanks, Julian. I didn't get to thank you in the app, but thank you so much for your help. API routes. You might used to be building an API route. Okay, so all the APIs happen inside of the loader. This makes sense. Call loaders outside of navigation. Okay. Use fetcher. What is this use fetcher? Oh my god. They have a data fetch API here. What is use fetcher? You can use fetcher for cases like this. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So basically like ad hoc querying of that data, and then kind of feeding it into the form without changing navigation. Fine. Finally, resource routes. In other cases, you may need routes that are part of your application but are part of your application's UI. Viper, I'll get to you in a bit. Maybe you want a loader that renders a report as a PDF. Yeah, this is totally fine. So you don't need a default export then. If a route is not called by Remix UI, like link or useFetcher, and does not export the default component, it's now a general purpose resource route. If called with get, the loader's response is returned. If called with put put patch delete, the action's response is returned. Okay, JSON API for mobile app, dynamically generate PDFs, social images. Ooh, social images. Hey, webhooks. Yeah. Okay. Josh says something about use fetcher. It's like SWR or React Query and API routes. Okay. In that case, I want to see the docs because that is a complex piece of software. Where's the use fetcher API docs? What? Where is it? Use fetcher. There we go. All right, let's look at the use fetcher docs. This hook is for advanced use cases. Sorry, this hook is for advanced cases that most features of your app don't need. Does not work in server rendering. Usually requires JavaScript in the browser, and it's totally fine. Totally. What do you think I am, man? Fetcher.form. What is fetcher.form? This hook will call loaders and actions without navigating. It's similar to useFetch wrappers found in many React apps, with extra behavior specific to Remix. Okay. I don't think they need to warn us like that. Like, it's fine. People get what this is. When multiple fetchers are in flight at once, it will commit the freshest available data as each lands. Ensure no stale loads overwrite fresher data, no matter which order the response is returned. I like that. Strong consistency. Handles uncaught errors by rendering the nearest error boundary. Will redirect the app. Oh, okay. That's cool. All right. Fetcher.state. Perfect. Fetcher.type. Whoa. It's like fetcher.state, but more granular. What are you talking about? This is not clear. So I guess type is like a string or something that you compare to init, done, action submission, loader submission, action reload. And then these kind of roll up into states. Sure, but it seems minor. Fetcher.data. There we go. Fetcher.form. Okay. What is fetcher? Just like form, except that it doesn't cause a navigation. You get over the .njsx, don't worry. When would you want this? Is this like disabled? Is this like prevent default? I think it is. I think this is like a prevent default form. And so when you say action some route, what does that really mean? Because the action is defined on the same component, right? Like this is a normal action. Okay. There's no. Okay. So when it's just a regular remix form, it calls the action from the same page, and then when it's a fetcher.form, it calls an action from an arbitrary page. I guess it's handy. And then where do I get that data? I say fetcher.data or fetcher.submit. Okay, I can use this. All right. Viper asks for my impressions. It's really good. It does exactly what I think it's supposed to do. It tells me what I need to know as I want it. And all this form stuff is a killer feature, right? It just simplifies React so much that I think it should almost be a default learning point for React. Like, I think Create React App is basically on its final legs. Nobody really should be using it anymore. It takes too long to install, and it doesn't have enough features. Both Next.js and Remix are better starting points for React's learners than Create React App now. So I'm hereby proclaiming the end and the death of Create React App. Just don't bother. All right. Obviously, that's a bit of hyperbole, but it should not be as big as it is today. I think it should probably just be client-side stuff. It should you can use Create React App to make Chrome extensions, but most apps should just start with Remix or Next.js. Comparing Remix and Next.js, I'm not qualified, man. Like I just looked at this is my first time looking at Remix. And there's a lot of production hardening that's gone into Next.js. They've got 13 versions of maybe 13 versions using at scale, and don't underestimate how much work goes into maintaining like the minor bugs and edge cases that goes into there. So I'd be very cautious of adopting Remix. Totally fine to use it on smaller sites, but for work stuff, be careful. All right. I think it's one of those things, right? Like projects like this take years to mature, and obviously you can bypass that with years of experience from the authors. But just from understanding how projects are maintained, you only find out about issues when people follow them. Hey, Sean Grove pops by and says, "What timeline do you estimate until Vercel hires Ryan and Michael?" Well, they're not for sale. I mean, unless they acquire you, just like Netlify acquired Sean Grove's talents. They're not for sale. So I don't know. I really don't think that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's so much overlap, right? The beautiful thing about hiring Rich Harris is that there was not that much overlap, whereas Remix is a real competitor to Next.js, and I don't know. And also then there's the problem of like making sure the personalities and ambitions fit. So no comment on that. Yeah. All right. Okay. I like this question from Viper. Viper says, "What do you feel Remix is good at, and what type of apps should you build with it?" So when you think about types of apps, I always think about this amazing blog post from Ipsum Miller, where he actually laid out like, here are the types of apps, right? You've never seen it laid out like this, and then once you see it, you're like, oh yeah, that's true. Okay. All right, light mode for you guys. So social networking destinations. Would you build something like so Remix is really good at like the form in sort of CRUD layer, because like that's such a nice tight integration between there, and then obviously the dynamic routing just makes it better than any sort of standard static site. So I like that for like really unbounded page problems like social networking. And obviously the other thing that that we talked about in the live stream between Remix and Next.js is that nested routing is a first class feature of Remix. So again, that's a vote in strong favor of social networking. So I think that's pretty cool. Social media applications versus social networking. Why is that such a difference? Rich media, infinite sorting content, blah blah blah. I don't know. they're pretty similar to me. I'm gonna suspend for a question from Sean. So Sean says, how important is the lack of real-time data for Remix? It is an area I think about from time to time that is quite difficult to find a clean abstraction for. Like, you don't want real-time data for the server, so you want it from the client. So you need to establish the connection from the client. Basically, you don't need it. Like, it's a separate framework, kind of like a different concern. I don't think any framework really handles real-time data unless you're talking about like the Phoenix live views of the world. And even then, it's like kind of like a different syncing philosophy. So I don't think it's a big deal at all. Like, it'd be nice if they tackled it, but also completely understandable that they don't. Viper FX, do you think they will sell services like background workers, schedulers, and cron? I don't know what they've said about their business model. I listened to their live stream and they said something business model, but then they were like, we're super committed to open source. Like, they're not there yet. They're just, they're figuring it out, or they have plans that they're not ready to share. Sure, you can sell background workers, schedulers, and cron, but with this founding team, is that the best use of their talents, or would you hire someone else to do it, right? And my answer would be the latter. So they mentioned services when asked about monetization. Yeah, but everything you just mentioned is extremely commoditized, right? So it's a race to the bottom. And like, do I like Remix branded cron versus Render branded cron versus Fly branded cron? I don't care. Just give me cron. Yeah, I mean, at some point in a commoditization of a market. So if you think about cloud, and you think about like Wardley mapping. Let's see if we can find something. Okay. All right. Let's say the market is still like this. Open image in new tab. There we go. All right. Let's say the market is still like this, where apps are still very custom, and then platforms are very commoditized. Actually, it's interesting because commodities become utilities until they are sort of consumer-y. So if you have a very visible platform, then you can actually engage in some kind of, so it's here, right? Like, we're basically like, Remix is kind of here-ish, and then like the Netlify's and Flies are kind of here-ish. AWS is kind of lower down here. And what I'm driving at is this, like, handbag brands, right? There are 35 different varieties of handbags, and you need a bag. You just care what brand is your favorite. Some people are gonna like Kate Spade. Some people like Prada, Coach, Louis Vuitton. Does cloud go to that extent where everyone offers commodity services with brand? So I don't know. It's a thought. That's a platform goes in the past, and that's kind of the general direction that people tend towards. I'm just uninspired by it. I think this is very standard market evolution, and I'm hoping for some visionary to surprise us with something new, because this is just boring. It's like anyone can execute on something like this, build a brand. And Vercel is obviously built an extremely strong brand. Nullify probably number 2, and then all the other players are coming up there. I don't know. It's just like, is this it? Is this the end of history for cloud? I doubt it. Something I am exploring. I have like info I cannot share, which would be really interesting if you had drinks with me, and then I could actually talk about it. But there are other people working on disrupting this model, right? Like, if this is the game, play a different game, because the next, it's always like the next Facebook will not look like Facebook. There'll be something else. The next big cloud, the next Vercel will not look like Vercel. And so if it's very tempting to say like, all right, you launched a front end framework, like now the playbook is, then you launch a cloud that hosts it. That's what kind of Blitz.js is doing. That the next Vercel will not look like Vercel. And so I'm kind of looking for some new beyond that. I don't have it, to be clear. I'm not like saying that I'm smarter than anyone here. I just say that the general pattern is that you want to change the game. All right, cool. So I think that's it. We just went for 2 hours. We browsed a little bit. I do want to look at like the 404 story. I care a lot about environment variables and security. Let's talk about auth. Like, where is it? Probably in the routing, but like, why? But I'm very impressed. I think that it's kind of delivered on the promise. It flows very well. It works out of the box exactly like how I expected to. So yeah, no surprises here. They've shipped some really high quality stuff here. So yeah, thanks for joining me. This is like a pre-Thanksgiving random exploration, and I decided to live stream it. Hopefully, it'll be useful for others. See you online, and happy Thanksgiving. Bye, everyone.